Welcome back to the news at 10. Let's join Kayode Alayonde now as he has today's sports news.
Welcome to Sports News. We start with football. The Super Eagles of Nigeria have defeated the Desert Warriors of Algeria 3-1 in a 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifier. Chelsea forward Victor Moses scored Nigeria's first goal in the 26th minute after a mix-up in the Algerian defense.
What does he do? Kelechi Iheanacho should create space.
And captain Mikel Obi added a second goal on 42 minutes after beating the offside trap.
And it was very close. Very close. But I think Mikel was wrong. The Algerians was totally flat-footed. And Mikel scores a rare goal for the Super Eagles. Yassine Brahimi, the ball is... Oh, good clearance.
However, Nabil Ben Taleb pulled one back for Algeria, but Victor Moses scored his second of the match in injury time to seal a second straight victory for Nigeria. The Super Eagles now have a 4-point lead in Group B after Cameroon and Zambia played a 1-1 draw.
The man who started it all, the man who seems to have wrapped it all up, Nigeria.
Meanwhile, Belgium captain Eden Hazard is expecting a difficult match against Estonia in Sunday's 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifier. Hazard wants a fast start against the Estonians, whom he describes as a very good defensive team. Belgium are top of Group H with 9 points from 3 games.
Difficult game. If we don't score early, the game will be very difficult. But yeah, we know what to do. We train tonight. We will see some clips. Yeah, I think they will defend a lot. We have to find solution to score.
In other games, Lewis Hamilton will start the Brazilian GP on pole position after edging out Mercedes teammate Nico Rosberg by 1/10 of a second in qualifying. Hamilton has never won at Interlagos, but knows he must finish ahead of Rosberg in Sunday's race to take the title battle to the final round of the season in Abu Dhabi. Kimi Raikkonen, maintaining his recent revival, was third for Ferrari ahead of Red Bull's Max Verstappen. And that's it on Sports News. I'm Kayode Alayonde. The rest of the news continues in just a moment with Harriet.
The military campaign against insurgency appears to be making continued progress as hundreds of Boko Haram fighters and their families have surrendered in Chad. Reuters reports that the fighters who surrendered might be recent recruits that Boko Haram has struggled to retain. The Chief Military Public Information Officer for the Multinational Joint Task Force in N'Djamena, Colonel Mohammed Dole, claims this is the largest number of insurgents to have ever surrendered in a period of 1 month. He says the insurgents surrendered to troops on the front line in Lake Chad due to firepower of the operations. They are now being held in detention along with their families. At least 4 people have died in Afghanistan after a huge explosion hit Bagram Air Base, the largest U.S. military facility in the country. Reports say at least 14 others were also wounded in the blast. The Taliban confirmed one of the suicide bombers had carried out the attack, which reportedly hit a dining area. The base near Kabul has come under frequent attacks as the Taliban steps up operations before the onset of winter. The attack is a serious security breach of one of the best fortified military compounds in Afghanistan. Bagram was hit while people gathered to celebrate Veterans Day. And U.S. President-elect Donald Trump says he might not completely abolish President Barack Obama's health care bill. Mr. Trump, who has pledged to repeal the 2010 law promised to keep the ban on insurers denying coverage for pre-existing conditions. He also insists he favors allowing young adults to be insured on their parents' policies.
Hundreds of high school students in Minnesota, Colorado and Utah walked out of class on Friday afternoon to protest against Donald Trump's surprise presidential election victory. Holding up anti-Trump banners with some reading "Not My President," the students made their feelings known about the just concluded presidential election. And in New York's Washington Square Park, demonstrators holding signs reading "Love will always trump hate" and "Build bridges, not walls" gathered for a third day of peaceful protest.
Donald Trump, because Mexicans rapists, and that hurts my soul, because my father is not a rapist, my mother is not a rapist.
In Miami, hundreds of protesters marched peacefully holding up anti-Trump banners, with some reading the popular "Not My President" and "Dump Trump" as the police looked on. Protesters in downtown Atlanta could also be heard chanting as they cited a list of objections to Trump, including his campaign rhetoric, critical of immigrants and Muslims, as well as allegations that he had sexually abused women and bragged about it. In downtown Portland, protesters blocked traffic and threw objects at police dressed in riot gear, who responded with pepper spray and flashbang devices. Protests were also held in Philadelphia, New York and San Francisco. Mr. Trump, who initially denounced Americans who protested against his election, saying they had been incited by the media, reversed course and praised them on Friday. More protests are scheduled to hold this weekend in New York and Los Angeles, and a rally is planned for Washington, D.C. on January the 20th, when the New York businessman is sworn in to succeed Barack Obama as President of the United States.
And the main news again, there was a change of baton today in Edo State as Mr. Godwin Obaseki was sworn in as governor in Benin City, the state capital. He promised to focus on agriculture and education to lift the state to greater heights, as well as work closely with the state civil servants and the private sector. And that's it on the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for staying with us and for being a part of it. I'm Harriet Agbini. Have a good night.